This is Errol Marks from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, Jabba in the Mouth, and we're here at Radio Row at Super Bowl 59. It is old. I am getting older. I'm going to be 43 this year, and we're here with a very special person. We're here with Haley Hunt, the founder of VerbKind, bringing impact to many, many different youths, empowering pro athletes. So, Haley, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, and welcome to New Orleans, guys. Even though I'm not from here,
I'm not from here, and I'm not too fond of this place. I've been here at Mardi Gras, so this is not.
He's a New Yorker.
I'm a New Yorker, okay,
yeah.
New Yorker. But it's one of these places that I'm here. I like the food, but I just don't like the craziness. Even though I'm from New York, I don't like the craziness.
Wow,
I don't. I'm a quiet person. No, I'm not a quiet person.
Your counterpart
I'm a
over
loud
here,
person.
your LSU counterpart over here does not feel the same.
Well, a lot of people don't feel the same. As they call me the mouth on Job on the Mouth. So I do have a loud mouth, and actually, a lot of things that you're doing right now is pretty sensational. Tell us about the charitable work that you're doing right now.
Yeah, so I started a nonprofit about 6 years ago, accidentally, I will say that. And it's called the VerbKind, and we go into juvenile detention centers and mentor incarcerated youth. So we spend time with kids that are locked up, and it's been really cool because at the same time I was working with pro athletes building their brands, and so I had a lot of friends that played specifically football, and I would just start asking people to come to jail with me. So the movement grew by me asking people to come to jail with me. So our Instagram is literally, our tagline is "come to jail with me." A guy would hit on me and I'd be like, "No, I'm not really interested, but you should come to jail with me." Or, someone would be like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "You should come to jail with me." And people would say yes. And then all of a sudden we had groups of people going into juvenile detention centers all over. And fast forward, we are in 13 counties in Florida. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we are this year the charitable partner, or the social justice charitable partner for the NFLPA. So we have some NFL players that sit on our board, former and current players. And that's our mission, is to give back to these kids that need a second chance.
Wow. So as a former athlete, obviously I know you work with a lot of NFL players. How can somebody, first off, Orlando, we have Orlando connection here, both born and raised in Orlando.
It figures.
Hey.
He always finds the connection with Orlando. He makes fun of New Yorkers, okay?
I live there.
But when it comes to, you play for the Yankees.
I lived there.
Yes, but you didn't like New York, did you?
I liked New York.
He doesn't like New
Yorkers. Liar.
Like the New Yorkers, like the fans. Just too much hustle and bustle. I'm more of a slow pace. And although Orlando is expanding rapidly, so my area now went from one house to 1,000 houses. But regardless, how can what I was getting at is Orlando is a hotbed for MLB players. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of baseball players, a lot of athletes that are there. How can somebody, and I have a lot of friends that live near me. How can somebody that had played MLB or football get in contact with you, and how can we help you?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. So obviously we're in 13 different cities. They're the major hubs, so Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville, and then as we grow, which New Orleans is one of our newest cities, Nashville is coming, LA, and we've been asked to open in New York. So just FYI, New Yorkers, if you're listening, if you're interested in that, but reach out to us on, my email address or our website is theverbkind.com. It's easy to remember when you know what the VerbKind means, and that love is an action. We are an action kind of people. So we are the VerbKind. And a lot of these kids, I don't know if you're listening, but maybe half your listeners have been locked up or could have been locked up. They just never got caught. And if you know your parents, or you were raised by your parents together, that's a small percentage. And 80% of our kids are fatherless. So, to be able to step into that space, you'll never replace a father, but to be able to spend time with these kids and remind them that they're worthy and that they're worth, loving, it just changes. It's changing the community. So we'd love for people to come in, and obviously, who do kids look up to? What do they want to be? When I walk in and I say, "Hey, what's your dream job?" What do you think they say? They say rapper and athlete, okay? Or any kind of athlete. It's a rapper and athlete. And so we try to get them to think outside the box, but 1000%. We are in the detention center because we are good businessmen. You know what I'm saying? We're entrepreneurs. We like
Business women too.
and women. There are girls in the detention center.
Yes.
But they always say they want to be an athlete or a rapper, whatever. I would love for more athletes to be involved in what we do because these kids need to see that they are somebody. And when you get a pro athlete to come in there or somebody that is of, prestige or whatever, to show you some attention, it feels kind of good,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You need to get in contact with the MLBPA. When we get off, I'll give you some contacts there. Can you? I'm interested. I'm definitely interested. I have some family members that have visited 33rd Street.
Love it.
So I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yes.
Not proud of that, but it is what it is. Take me through like a typical day. Like,
Awesome.
What do we do? Who do we? I know we talked to the juvenile, but like.
All right, so you're going to show up in the parking lot. We're going to kind of huddle around, and someone's got the snacks. Okay, we're here hanging out with 16-year-old boys and girls. And what way to get to the heart of a teenager? You got snacks, okay?
The stomach.
Oh, yeah.
The
So
stomach.
we got all kinds of fun things, and then we have a plan. And so guess what our plan is called? It's called a playbook, okay? So we have a playbook, and every month there is a theme. So this past month in January was conflict resolution. This month, it's Valentine's Day. It's all about relationships and what true love looks like and getting along with people and serving others. And so we talk about what it's going to look like tonight. So tonight we're going to be doing XYZ. The conversation's going to be around this. So our mentors that are there are prepped and ready. And then we go in and you have to go through the security. They make you take your shoes off. They do a whole thing. Like you're getting patted down, all that stuff, making sure that you're not bringing anything fun in there. And then we go into this, what they call a mod or a metal room. And there's 15 to 20. Well, just say we're going to spend time with boys today. There's 15 to 20 teenage boys looking at you. Now, if they've never met you before, they're looking at you like, who are you? I'm not sure. But if you've been there once, they love you and they're so excited to see you again. And so we do an icebreaker, we'll play a game, and then we break out into small groups. And so if you're listening and you mentor someone or you wonder what it's like, the power of the verb kind is when we break out into these small groups and these guys get to be with you in a smaller setting where you're talking about things that they probably have never even told the counselor.
Life.
Yeah, life.
Experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And being a good listener is the number one way to be a good mentor. A lot of people may be thinking, I can't relate to them, or I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I don't know how to mentor, or I'm not a counselor. Being a good listener is one of the best values that you can have as a person, even as a friend. You know what I mean?
Friends are all together.
Being a good listener is definitely it. So yeah, you just spend time. It's about an hour, and then that's it. And then you say your goodbyes. It's really sad, and you say, "See you next week," and that's it.
So it's
an hour.
It's like a weekly,
or sometimes bi-weekly, but weekly commitment.
So you're growing relationships with these.
That's it.
And obviously, when they get out, you
absolutely
continue to mentor them.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't walk up to some kid on the street and say, "Yo, you should change your life around." But if you've been in a detention center or a lockdown facility with this kid when he is at his worst, and then you tell him something to do when he's going to listen to you.
He's moldable.
Yes, he's moldable because he trusts you.
Correct.
You showed up for him when he had nobody, and now he's back on the streets or he's back in his neighborhood or whatever, and he really wants to change. And then the last thing I'm going to say, and I'll shut up.
You don't have to shut up.
There's
please.
a lot of kids that, I say it to them all the time. We got pizza today. Half y'all want to change and half y'all love it. Y'all love jail. No, we don't. I'm like, you love it. You love the game. You never want to get out. This is your life. And you know what? We love you too. Because there's a lot of kids that are going to the recidivism.
Receptive.
Yeah, they're going to come back to jail and end up in prison or whatever, which is so sad. But that doesn't stop us. You know what I mean? Like, we love them all the same and give them all the opportunity to choose. So,
as everybody knows, this is Errol Marks. I'm here with Nick Goody, and we're here with Haley Hunt, the founder of VerbKind. It's fantastic what she's doing right now for kids. It's unbelievable. We've interviewed a couple of people trying to help kids and help them grow as future grown-ups and future athletes, musicians. I mean, you're doing something, or you were the originator of I Am Athlete podcast. Tell us a little bit about that.
I wouldn't say originator, but because that's Brandon's brain. They just had,
okay.
but I was a part of the team that helped produce this and bring this to life. And so that was, I Am Athlete was obviously right in the middle of COVID when nothing else was happening. And then the BLM movement happened, and they had a few episodes called I Am Black. Mm-hmm. And he decided to put his token white friend on there to ask all the questions.
You're going to get us in trouble now.
Okay. And, but it was a really powerful segment of podcast talking about the racial tension in America and just how we can love people regardless of what the media has put out and stuff. So he did a really good job of bringing in his friends and talking about real life. And obviously, I Am Athlete is doing incredible and became an insanely powerful brand.
So we're working with Ice Shaker. Shout out to Chris and Gronks, the
So
Gronk
cool.
family. Yes, and it's sensational what they're doing right now after what they did on Shark Tank, and they're selling hundreds of thousands of different ice shakers. If you look at all these different companies that you've worked with, sponsorships, advertisements, what is the company that really sticks out to you that's helped you grow your product?
Oh, wow. I would definitely, I don't want to give them too much credit, but the NFL definitely has helped us grow, and the NFLPA, the Players Association, they have stepped in. And but I mean, not to be cliche because we're here at the Super Bowl.
Of course not.
There's some brands that we do want to partner with, like Wrap Snacks and H2O Water and Ice Shaker. You know what I'm saying?
We could hook you up. We can hook you up.
And so many brands. What about the Kind Bar? We are the Verb Kind, and we could have a really special flavor. Ooh. And a percentage goes back to the Verb Kind. It's easy for them. Everybody wants to be a part of it. Wawa.
I love Wawa.
I know you're.
I love it. I love it. Wawa's is one of my favorite places to go. If you go to New Jersey, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm DJing. I'm tired, and I want a sandwich. I go to Wawa's. You know what? I can get whatever I want at any time. But by me, it's Quick Checks. You ever heard of Quick Checks?
Quick Checks, yes.
Yes. You can get yourself your sandwich. You can get yourself some nice soup.
Okay.
Chicken noodle soup. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, Lord.
But
I love it.
Well, it's different. I'm not trying to promote Quick Checks. If you want to be a sponsor, we could promote you. Anyways, but I think it's sensational what you're doing right now.
Thank you.
It really is. And I did Scare Straight. Remember that?
Yeah, you did?
I did. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a story, a little bit about me. When I was a kid, I was a bad seed. I did a lot of stupid things. I was an athlete, very good one, but I made some mistakes. I got into a lot of fights, and my parents couldn't control me. So my parents wanted to get me involved with something where I could understand that if I wasn't going to get my act together, I was going to be behind bars. So they sent me into this Scare Straight thing where I was with 5 other kids that were a lot worse than I was. And they sent me to a jail where I sat with this guy named Scooter. Shout out to Scooter. Shout out to Scooter. He was a wrestler from my school who was in prison because of something that he did. I shouldn't be saying it, but he was incarcerated for about 20-something years. And he kind of got into my face, and he told me, he practically told me, if you don't want to be me, you need to get your head back, into the books, go out, play sports, get yourself away from people that are not going to make you better. It's going to take you down. And I did that. I mean, I saw a lot of different things when I was out there. I got a chance to see what it's like to be behind bars. And then I look at these kids, all these athletes that could have went to jail and they found their way out because of sports. And for people like you and organizations like you that are trying to help them grow as men or women that want to go and make something of their lives.
Absolutely.
So I think it's amazing. I really do.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well, you know what? I mean,
come to jail with me.
You want me to come to jail with you? I mean, I think I would have to protect you from those big behemoths, Bubba or whatever they call him. Scooter. Or Damn Rick. Remember Damn Rick? I remember Damn Rick. I'm not going to tell you why he called himself Damn Rick. Okay. But nevertheless, Haley, it is fantastic what you guys are doing. I really think it's amazing. It's the first time I met you, and I would love, again, you're doing so many great things right now. Why couldn't we help you? I mean, being that we're from New York and you're from
Orlando, baby.
Yeah.
He's just this guy, and I'm going to tell you a quick story about this guy. This guy is a professional athlete. My producer reached out to Nick. Nick came on a show. He doesn't usually come on shows because he really doesn't like, the cameras. I'm a liar because he is going to be working for the MLB Network, but nevertheless, he doesn't really like to go on many different shows. He came on our show, and I told him, I said, listen, this is not like the normal interview you're going to have. It's crazy. We're nuts. And you're going to really, I don't think you're ever going to forget this interview. And yes, it was wild. But after that, he's like, I want to do this again. And we got Nick on. I was like, Nick, after we brought Jabba to the picture, I said, Nick, I want to give you a segment. I think you'd be fantastic. And I'll help you, figure out, who you are on the radio. And boy, oh boy, he's become sensational. Now he's working. Wow. He's going to be working for the MLB Network. He doesn't want me to pat him on the back. Listen, shout out to his two children and his beautiful wife. He's doing big things right now, and he's always out there promoting his kids. So I'm going to promote him too.
That's awesome.
Orlando, Florida.
That's right, baby.
Oh, you Yorkers.
I want to say just on behalf of all the Orlando people,
Orlando Knights.
Who do you think Orlando is full of? Freaking New Yorkers, okay?
Yorkers.
So I'm just saying.
Yorkers.
That's why we drive crazy.
New Yorkers live in two places, New York and Orlando, Florida.
Depending on the season. Depending on the season.
What is up with you in the season thing? I mean, I'm out here sweating my butt off, okay? It's 70 degrees. This is too hot for me. I'm sweating.
I was just a little chilly.
How are you? That's why you're from Orlando.
Ice cold, dude.
Feel my hands. You are cold. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
What do they say? Cold hands, warm heart.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, I guess if my hands are warm, I guess I have a very cold heart.
Exactly.
It's the opposite. Opposites attract.
You're such a really nice New Yorker. Most of them are not nice.
Oh, that's not true. I mean, we run in bunches, okay? You don't want to go when you're singly. If they're walking by themselves, you stay away from them. If you see a group of them, that's when you have some fun with them.
Okay.
And you don't want to get on the road, and you don't want to ride any New Yorkers' butts.
And stay clear away from the subway.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is that?
Oh.
What are you doing on the subway,
dude? So I lived in Times Square when I played in New York, and either it was $100 Uber ride to the field every day, or like this is when Judge was a rookie and Andrew Miller took the subway, Tyler Clippard. So we'd all just huddle up, take the subway. The things you see on a New York subway will scar you for life. Obviously, we have the the speed rail or whatever that kills everybody in Miami.
Jesus, this guy is
Sunrail.
Yeah,
he is making New York look like it's a death trap.
No.
I mean, seriously.
In Orlando, we have that.
We have a Sunrail, and then now we have the Bright Line.
Which
that's takes you from Miami to Orlando like that. So
really,
New York, you need to catch on.
Well, Vancouver has this it's not a subway. It's like a train that flies in the air. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's a rail in the air. And actually, it's absolutely amazing. You don't even need a car when you live in Vancouver. It's in the air. It floats on one rail. It's pretty cool. You've never been to Vancouver?
Just Toronto.
Well, Toronto's different from Vancouver.
Yeah, I've never been.
You like seafood, so you got to go to Vancouver.
We're in the best spot for food in America.
This guy blows up New Orleans like it's like the best thing since sliced bread.
No, the food.
What about New York food?
I told you, New York has got some good spots for sure, 100%. But the cuisine down here is just unmatched, in my opinion.
Unmatched cuisine. Listen
cuisine.
to him. No, cuisine.
Jeez. All right.
Cuisine. See, she said it the way I said it.
Cuisine.
Listen, I want to get you in contact with MLBPA. I want you to reach out to them. There's a lot of, like I said, former Major League Baseball players, minor league guys that you could really impact. The PA is all about giving back. And I think that's something that would help you, help your brand, and most importantly, help the children and the juveniles. So after this, we'll exchange contacts and we'll roll from there.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
I also want your contact because I think we can do some things over there in New York as well.
I would love it. And I just appreciate you guys having us on today. And I'm so excited about meeting you guys.
Same here.
Yeah.
You like that?
I love that Gronk.
Do you want that?
Really?
You can have that.
No, unless it's somebody else's.
That's yours.
That's yours.
Dang it!
You can have it.
I didn't even know that they were on Shark Tank.
Yeah, they
Guys,
won
look
Shark
at
Tank.
this.
Yes.
Exactly.
Had to take a picture. Wow.
We'll have to send that to
thanks.
Chris.
Ice
We have to
Shaker.
send that to Chris. Chris
Awesome.
Gronkowski. Him and his brothers are doing so many things right now with Ice Shaker, and they're growing so fantastically.
Love it.
Shout out to Ice Shaker, our sponsor, and all the people out there, all you New Yorkers. If you don't want to go to jail and you want to do great things,
That's right.
reach out to
The
Kelly Hunt
verbkind.com.
and Verb Kind.
Yes, the verbkind.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll be back after.